Digital Romance TV.
Hey guys, welcome to Digital Romance TV, and I'm Heidi from Sex, Lust, and Love. Today we're going to talk about men's feelings getting hurt. A few episodes ago in a video, I talked about one of the nicest things that a woman could do for a man. And in that video, I talked about how men are really sensitive and that their feelings get hurt much more often than women and most of society realize. So today we're going to talk about how often their feelings get hurt, how do we know, and how they typically try to convey it to women, and the things that they say when they convey it to women that their feelings are hurt. So, many of you know I've interviewed hundreds of men, and when I asked them this question, how often do women hurt your feelings, not one of the men said never. In fact, so several hundred men, they all said women hurt our feelings all the time. And most of the time, women have no idea how much is happening. Now, I don't know about you, but I have always thought that men are pretty tough and stoic. And of course, they're sensitive. We all know that. But I had no idea how sensitive they really were until I, had these hundreds of hours of conversations with them. And in fact, that question about how often do women hurt your feelings actually came from a man that I interviewed. That question wasn't in my original questions for the interviews. So, so what happened is I started asking all the men, several hundred men, this question. And then I asked them, okay, so tell me how often your feelings get hurt. Unanimously, it was on a regular basis, daily, if not several times a day. And then I asked them, well, how do you tell the woman? So first of all, do you even admit that your feelings are hurt, and do you tell her? And B, how do you say it to her? What words specifically do you use to convey that your feelings are hurt? So a lot of the guys told me, in fact, I heard this phrase so much about the playground, how they learn from early on when they're little boys on the playground, they get beat up for being nice to women, or, if they're nice to a girl, or if they cry on the playground, they get beat up, they get made fun of. And so they learn very early on, society teaches boys to be tough. Don't cry, stand up, get up, you're fine. Don't show your emotions, don't show your feelings. So these boys grow up to be men, and now they're in these relationships with women, and they're expected to express their feelings, and they don't know how to do it. And so when their feelings are hurt, which we now know is all the time on a regular basis, they don't know how to express it to women. So the terms that they typically use, and this is what I heard over and over again, they will tell a woman, they'll say, I don't like it when you did, such and such. It really bothered me when you did this. It pissed me off when you did this. It irritated the hell out of me when you did this, and it really made me mad when you did this. So those are the phrases that they use to try to express that their feelings are hurt. And of all the men that I spoke to, about a third of them said, I do actually share with the woman, that I'm with, that she hurt my feelings. So I asked them, and by the way, two-thirds never say anything. Their feelings get hurt on a regular basis. They never own up to it. They never admit it. They never share. So the men that do share and used these common phrases, I asked them, well, how is it usually received by the woman? What does she do? And almost all of them said, well, it doesn't go over very well. And they would then start to ask me, well, why do women get so upset when we try to tell them that, our feelings are hurt? And it was so clear to me, and again, this isn't all women, but the majority of women are going to hear those phrases. So instead of hearing that what she did bothered him, she probably is hearing she bothers him, she pisses him off, she irritates the hell out of him. So most women they'll personalize that. So now they think it's them, not what they did. And so then that causes the woman to get upset and, possibly, who knows what, reaction that will cause in her. Every woman's different. And so now the man's like, I can't win. She might get upset and start yelling at him because she thinks that she bothers him. So her presence or everything about her bothers him. She didn't hear that what she did hurt his feelings. So then the men in turn go, well, forget it. This is useless. I'm not going to tell this woman that I'm with that she hurt my feelings anymore. So they tried it once. That's it. Didn't go well. So they don't do it anymore. There were a few men who said, I used the word specifically, it really hurt my feelings when. And every single one of those men said it was perceived, it went over really well by the woman, and she never did the thing again that hurt his feelings, because she heard that she hurt his feelings. Now, I would argue any woman on earth, if she hears that she's hurt the man that she loves, she's hurt his feelings, she would be devastated. She would be upset. But if she hears that she bothers you, pisses you off, irritates the hell out of you, she's probably going to get irritated herself. Again, this isn't all women, but the majority of women, this is kind of what happens in this scenario. So now we have, of course, men not sharing anymore that their feelings are hurt, and so they just go on about their business, and women are constantly hurting their feelings. We don't realize it, and that's the thing. That's where it's also men's responsibility to say, they've got to be able to say, it really hurt my feelings, so that the woman is hearing that, because otherwise, again, she's going to hear that she just bothers you, and she probably is going to get upset. So another, I wanted to read to you one quick comment from a younger man. He's 31 years old, from Miami. He owns his own business, and he said that oftentimes one of the worst things you can do that hurts a man is to ridicule him or belittle him in front of his friends or other men and women, and to take another man's side in front of your man. So from his perspective, he said, the man you're with almost always has your best interests at heart, and the worst thing you can do is to criticize him or to not speak highly about him in front of other people. So you never want to put the guy down that you're with in front of other people. You never want to take another man's side or somebody else's opinion, because for men, it means everything for them to think that the woman they love thinks the world of them. They want her to think that he's her hero more than anything on earth. So when that happens, that's one of the common things that can happen that can hurt a man's feelings. But it could be anything. I heard so many different stories about how women hurt men's feelings, the things that they do. A gentleman in his mid-50s told me his girlfriend was starting a business, and he suggested a couple titles. She couldn't come up with a title. And she laughed them off and said they were ridiculous. And it actually hurt his feelings. And so he then said, well, why don't you go ask your girlfriends instead? And he said it with a little bit of an attitude. Then she gets upset, and now they're in a fight because she says he's not supporting her. So you can see how this happens constantly. So bottom line for women, just think about if the man that you're with says, look, this really bothered me or upset me or irritated me when you did this, stop for a minute and think, okay, maybe I hurt his feelings. Think about it from that perspective and listen to what he's saying from the perspective of, it hurt my feelings when you did such and such. And for the men, you've got to be able to say those words. Look, it hurt my feelings when. You've got to have the courage, because it will clear up so much and make things a lot easier for you in the long run. So that's it for today. And for any more tips or information, you can go to my website, Sex, Lust, and Love. And again, this is Heidi. Have a great afternoon. Take care.
If you want to understand men better than they understand themselves, go to digitalromance.tv/secret to watch a special presentation where Michael Fiore explains the weird psychology of men and what men need to truly commit to a woman.